actual studies and it needs the evidence. And we cannot just speculate, or we cannot just say, okay, get your evidence from media. We do need to see the data, and that is what scientists do. And I guess it will take some time before they can really give us the evidence. So just keep on. These are people are saying yes, it could be a little less effective, or efficacy could be smaller, but then it could actually protect. But as I said, it needs the actual data, and it will come.
All right, now we've ahead of this data that you're talking about that we're waiting for, we've of course heard vaccine manufacturers say that existing vaccines are still effective against the new variants, kind of what you just said also, but some pharmaceuticals like Moderna and Pfizer are already one step ahead and looking into producing booster shots that target the new strains. What do you think about this? Should we really, or should pharmaceuticals be one step ahead? Is this sensible?
Well, that is actually a reasonable and an anticipatory move. In this time of pandemic, you cannot just take for granted anything, because we do want to make sure that we save lives. And the fact that there are variants, we know it will be coming. We've never said that it won't. And the fact that we can actually come up with vaccines that may in fact be effective, whether you have a variant or the original one, are really what scientists do, as I said. And we do need time to really give out those evidence, right?
Right.
Yes,
So,
they can say that.
okay.
But unless you can see it, and that's the basis for, applying emergency use authorization, that is the basis for scientists, other scientists, to look over the data and say, okay, this is good or this is not good. So if you know what you're doing, you should be able to get the data and give it out.
All right. So having said all of that, Dr. Bravo, is it then sensible to be pushing back administering the second dose due to production issues? I'm talking about, of course, the case in Western countries where they've already rolled out at least the first batch. We have Dr. Anthony Fauci saying that he is concerned about this delay with regard to the second shot. Should we be concerned about this delay?
The delay is because the manufacturing is delayed. Everybody is struggling to get the vaccine. I think I saw also the news, and it says that in fact the reason that you are that they are delaying it is because not delaying because of the mutant strain, but because the manufacturing is not at par, and there are so many people still needing the first dose. And the fact that yes, if you were to look at it, if you were to think about it, would you give the second dose when a lot more, millions of them are still waiting for their first dose? And you know that with the first dose, you can at least get a 50% efficacy. So it's a kind of a mathematical equation. Because if you don't give those who have not had the first vaccine, they can also be vulnerable and die. Whereas if you try to give those already available dose and try to delay the next dose, but give the first dose to those who have not yet had it, I mean, it is a thinking that, you may even save more lives. It's like that, I think.
Yes,
That
definitely.
is the reason, but not because of the mutant strain. I don't think it's because of the mutant strain here.
All right, so definitely a judgment call, a very tough judgment call to make. Having said that, what is your opinion on key government officials getting vaccinated in public in order to boost confidence? Of course, we've all heard that President Duterte will not be publicizing his vaccination, as spokesman Roque said. Your thoughts, Doc, on this?
I am a doctor, and I have always said that if a vaccine will be available, approved by FDA, that is a vaccine that you can get. And you would want to get the vaccine as soon as it is available, because you don't want to delay getting a vaccine that can save your life, right? I am a 71-year-old.
Right, but of course there is this very real issue of vaccine hesitancy among Filipinos. Perhaps we can attribute this to the Dengbaksha scandal a couple years ago. In your opinion, Doc, how would we Or
that
how
will be
are we
available
supposed
may
to?
not be the one that is appropriate for him. And it needs a scientific, a medical history. It needs a lot. You cannot just be saying, okay, you can be vaccinated. Who has to say that? That is supposed to be the call of his doctor, not by anyone else, not even the public who doesn't know what he has. I do not know even what he has. And every vaccine has its own contraindication and precaution. And every vaccine cannot be the same. So if I were the person, I will really have to study first and trust my doctor. And want someone to be the one to be vaccinated, it's the frontliners because they're the ones who know about the vaccine. Many people are hesitating because they do not know. But once they are educated enough, once they know that this vaccine will save their lives and their loved ones and everyone else, why will not they be wanting to be vaccinated? And it's because of the social media. It's the disinformation, the misinformation, and maybe it's the social media, which we always say, how do you fight the virus and this misinformation? It's by listening to the experts. You listen to the social media, you listen to the fake experts, you listen to the pseudo experts, and you will save not your life. Yes, that is the way to really, I don't know. I get dismayed by these people who spread lies, who spread conspiracy theories, who spread false news. All of them, they are not doing justice to our people. We have only the country to suffer from if these are promoted, and these are not really the ones that should be given out and not be shared. There is no basis for all those misinformation and saying that the vaccine can kill, that the vaccine will make you sterile, that the vaccine has this and that. My goodness, look at the sources. They're coming from, I don't know, the devil.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Bravo, Executive Director of the Philippine Foundation for Vaccination, for your time and your insights. Thanks for joining us today. Meanwhile, U.S. pharmaceutical company Pfizer is developing a booster shot targeted against new SARS-CoV-2 variants. Reuters reports that Pfizer is already laying the groundwork in the event that their existing vaccine proves less effective against the new COVID variants. Pfizer says the booster shot has yet to be evaluated. Earlier this week, fellow U.S. vaccine maker Moderna said it is developing a booster shot aimed specifically against the South African variant. And back in the Philippines, Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Bagalong admits that he and his wife attended the birthday party of socialite Tim Yap at the Manor Hotel in Camp John Hay. The contact tracing czar explained that they were there to thank Yap for supporting the city's tourism and for buying local art. Bagalong also insisted that physical distancing was observed and that the party was held in an open space. The Baguio mayor said he will fine those who will be proven to have violated COVID-19 protocols, including his wife, who was spotted unmasked during the party.
Doon sa activity na yun, makikita mo, merong outright na violation.
Yes.
Pero it's because, siyempre, tao lang eh. Kumakain ka pa naman, pataas bigla kang imbitahan. Si tumayo ka, nakipagsayo ka, nakalimutan mo na.
House lawmaker says they will respect the independence of the Senate as debates on constitutional amendments move forward. In a briefing, Rizal Representative Jack Duavit said they will not attempt to interfere with the procedure of the upper house. Duavit reassured senators that Congress will only be touching on economic provisions and will not insert any political amendments. Recall that officials from both houses of Congress have expressed opposing views on whose procedure to follow. Senate President Tito Sotto later clarified his support for economic amendments while standing firm against fully opening up the Constitution.
It's not up to us to convince them to do it. But I know that there are people in the Senate that do agree. Now, kung aabot sila ng 3/4, yan ang hindi ko alam. Pero that ball is in their court. And that is outside of our control.
Senator Manny Pacquiao has filed a bill to rename the Metro Manila Film Festival to the Philippine Film Festival. Senate Bill 2017 proposes a name change to make the annual film festival more inclusive as the existing name conveys exclusivity to the nation's capital. Pacquiao says the event's renaming will recognize the overall efforts of the film industry. The MMFF was created in 1975 to promote local films. And Hong Kong has resorted to ambush lockdowns to address the spike in COVID-19 cases in the territory. This method involves cordoning off neighborhoods to conduct mandatory testing without informing residents beforehand. Chief Executive Carrie Lam says they needed to implement ambush-style lockdowns to ensure that people do not escape from testing. Hong Kong has confirmed nearly 60,000 infections so far, over 40,000 of which were recorded in the last 2 months. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.